There are secrets in Bluey that almost nobody knows about, but we're going to show you all of them right now. Have you noticed the hidden stories in this little dog's cartoon? Mackenzie. One thing you can be sure of is that Bluey is telling the story of the beginning of Bluey and Mackenzie's love. In the episode Fruit Bat, she dreams about Mackenzie, and the whole theme of that episode was the main character dreaming about things she wanted. Strange, don't you think? It seems like Bluey's mind is trying to tell her something. Now, in the episode Barks and Boats, we discover that the two of them really do have feelings for each other. Winton hints that they're going to get married, and Calypso teaches them both about first love. On top of that, the show's creator Joe Brum said in an interview that Bluey's daughter, who appears in the future, has traits from both Mackenzie and Jean-Luc. In other words, there's a very good chance that the border collie is her father. Did you notice that detail? Are you ready? Because another amazing Cinewave is starting now. Peppa. Did you know that Honey knows Peppa Pig? It's true! In the mini-episode Alongside, we see several references to English culture because this character comes from that country. And on Honey's bedroom wall, we can see a picture of a little pig who is, without a doubt, the Bluey universe version of Peppa. And let's be clear, there's virtually no chance that it isn't the famous pink pig from England. Let's remember that Honey's entire room is filled with references to the country she comes from. On top of that, let's remember that Peppa Pig and Bluey are the two most famous cartoons in the world today, so it makes sense that there would be a reference connecting them. Had you ever noticed Peppa in Bluey's mini-episode? Harry Potter. Still in Honey's room, we can see a huge reference to the Harry Potter franchise, featuring the world's most famous wizard. We can see that the little dog has an owl representing Harry's pet, a poster on the wall showing a magical castle, and a wizard flying on a broomstick. Without a doubt, that's a reference to Hogwarts Castle. We can also see a wizard's broom hanging above that poster as an Easter egg referencing the Nimbus 2000 broomstick, which is also one of the most recognizable details from the famous Wizards universe. Pretty interesting, right? Twins. Have you ever noticed that Bentley has a twin sister? Bentley is a little dog who attends school with Bingo in Miss Retriever's class, and the show's official website says she has a twin sister named Zara. However, most people never notice this because the character is hidden in a few scenes. Zara appears next to her sister in the episode Fairies, and we can see that her fur is darker than Bentley's, but they are definitely twins. On top of that, Zara doesn't appear at Miss Retriever's school in the episode Bob Bilby, almost as if she doesn't attend the same school as her sister, which doesn't make much sense. But that's another secret from the series that has never been explained. Magic. You've probably noticed that magical things happen in several episodes of the series, such as Bingo using a feather to change the weight of objects, or Bluey using an asparagus to turn the family into wild animals. But have you ever noticed that the adults are actually pretending that magic is real? Of course, it's all part of a game, and it's much deeper than you might think. In the season 3 episode Magic, we see Chili using magic to chase Bandit and Lucky's dad out of the Healer family's backyard. During the scene, we can clearly see the neighbor lifting Bandit up and tossing him over the wooden fence, all while pretending for the kids that spells really exist. You might think this detail is easy to notice, but it's not that simple. In the season 1 episode Spy Game, Bandit tells Bluey that they're all dogs, and that everyone has a role to play in the group. It wasn't until the episode Magic that we truly understood what he meant. A parent's role is to keep their children's imagination alive, and that was a really cool detail to catch. Therapy. In the season 2 episode Bad Mood, we discovered that the Healer family almost certainly attends therapy with psychologists. And this probably has everything to do with Bandit and Chili losing their first puppy. The story begins with Bingo feeling sad and angry because Chili told her she had been misbehaving that day. That's when Bingo finds a horned hat under the bed and brings it to Bandit. At that exact moment, Mr. Healer immediately understood what it meant. His youngest daughter was angry and needed a way to relax. Bandit takes on the role of a character who represents Bingo's bad mood, and together they make all kinds of messes around the house. For those who don't know, this is a therapy technique used to help children express their feelings and learn how to cope with stress. As you know, the Healer family lost a puppy many years ago, and the fact that they attend therapy and know this kind of play technique is proof that after losing a child, the Healers felt it was important to participate in family therapy while raising their daughters. Would you like to be part of the Healer family? Comment #Bluey so we can get to know each other. Third puppy. Have you ever noticed that Chili wants to become a mother one more time? In the episode Bedroom, while she's explaining the baby's crib in the empty room to her daughters, she sheds a tear. Bluey asks why, and Chili responds that she's sad because no one will ever sleep in that crib again. This is proof that she really wanted to have a third puppy because, as she explained herself, the crib belonged to Bluey first and then to Bingo, but no one else would ever use it. This is proof that Bandit and Chili talked about having another puppy, but eventually decided not to, perhaps because of the challenges that come with raising several children. But the fact that Chili dreamed of having more babies is something we can be absolutely sure about. Jean-Luc. Did you notice that Bluey never forgot Jean-Luc? Some fans who would love to see the two of them together are probably jumping for joy right now, but let us explain exactly what we mean. Jean-Luc appeared in only a single episode of Season 1, episode 43 to be more precise. But if you watch Bingo's story in Season 2, more than 10 episodes later and during a completely different phase of the series, you'll notice that there's a drawing of Jean-Luc hanging on the wall of the healer house. That's proof that the Canadian Labrador left a strong impression on Bluey. Don't you agree? Plan. Have you ever noticed that Chili and Bandit came up with a plan to set up a couple? We're talking about Frisky, Chili's best friend and Bandit's older brother. At the beginning of the episode Double Babysitter, something funny happened. Radley showed up at the healer house to babysit the girls while Bandit and Chili were away, but Frisky arrived a few minutes later to do the exact same thing, and Chili claimed that she had forgotten she had already confirmed with Bluey's uncle. The thing is, that's a lie. Later in the episode, we learned two very important pieces of information. First, Frisky had recently gone through a breakup, and second, Bandit's brother worked on an oil rig and didn't have much free time because of his job. Doesn't it seem strange to you that Chili would simply forget that her brother-in-law was coming over to watch the girls when his schedule is always packed? Of course, she knew very well, and she only pretended to forget so she could come up with an excuse to put Frisky and Uncle Radley in the same house for several hours. Looks like it worked. Champions. In the episode Bob Bilby, we can see several trophies in the Healer family's garage. One of them is for field hockey, a sport that Chili really enjoys playing, showing that she was a champion at some point in the past. And the second trophy sitting above the shelf was revealed to be for squash, a sport that Bandit enjoys playing. In other words, the Healer couple are champions. Do you think they ever made it to the Olympics? Cheating. In the Season 3 episode Obstacle Course, we discover that Bandit is afraid of losing because he cheats in order to beat Bluey in a race. And from the episode Fairy Tale, we know that when he lost the competition to his older brother, he received a pretty harsh punishment. Maybe that's why he cheated against his own daughter. Shame on you, Bandit. Subscribing to the channel is just as good as watching your favorite animations. Shall we click? Secret. In the episode Sheepdog, we notice one of Chili's secrets. She asks her husband for 20 minutes completely alone, with nobody around, and it makes us wonder what she's doing inside that room. In reality, she's probably doing a yoga session, just like she does in the episode Born Yesterday. That's what Chili does to relax when she's stressed, and since she was extremely stressed that day, that's almost certainly what she was doing. Smelly. Have you ever noticed that Indy has super smelly farts? Yes, it's true. In the family meeting episode, when Bandit lets out a powerful fart right in Bluey's face, we learn that the night before he had dinner at Indy's house and ate the food that her dad had prepared. So if Bandit turned into a gas bomb after just one night, imagine what Indy has to deal with after eating her dad's cooking every single day. Illness. Remember that elderly pug lady who was incredibly rude to everyone in the episode Granny Mobile? She's actually very sick. It's sad to realize that even when we're talking about such an annoying character, but if she bought the mobility scooter from Bluey's neighbor, it's because she can barely walk anymore, and that's really heartbreaking. Did you notice that? Overweight. In that same episode with the elderly pug lady, she tells Bandit to stop eating so many cookies, and because of that, he gets upset and starts looking at himself in the mirror, appearing very insecure. That's proof that Mr. Healer has serious concerns about his weight. Did you notice that? Fame. Still talking about Bandit, did you know he's famous? In the archaeology mini episode, he gives a lecture about an ancient bone he discovered, and a lot of people showed up to watch. Apparently, Bandit is just like those famous scientists who give lectures at major universities. Do you think Bluey and Bingo realize that their dad is an important figure in the world of science? Anger. In episode 39 of Season 1, when Muffin sleeps over at the Healer house, Uncle Stripe mentions that Muffin skipped her afternoon nap, and that because of that, she's extremely tired. Chili makes a face at him when her brother-in-law leaves because she knows that's a mistake on Stripe's part. Do you think she got upset with him for not paying attention to Muffin's sleep schedule? But you can pay attention to our videos and keep hanging out with us for more adventures. If you like this video, there are 2 more ready on the screen. Just click and keep watching with us. Thanks, and see you soon.